jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports, talking way too much, world come back sports.
Once again, you're tuned in to World Combat Sports. Salute to each and every one of you that's in the building. I'm not going to be on here long tonight, man. I just want to talk about, a couple of topics here and there. But give me 1 minute. So what's good, everyone? I know it's Sunday. Everybody got their own thing going on. I get it, man. I get it for sure. I just want to start off by touching on the Devin Haney-Kambosos topic right quick. Hold on for a second. So word is out. Hold on for a second. Seawood on deck, man. I see you. Salute to you. So one of the biggest topics, at this point in time is the Devin Haney-Kambosos situation, the Kambosos then Lomachenko situation. Being that Lomachenko is on the sands of his home country, supposedly fighting a war or what have you, it might indeed eliminate him from, being able to make a training camp and also, be in the right mindset heading there against George Kambosos. I don't know the man like that. I'm not thinking for him. I'm just letting you know what my thoughts are. Now, it's some word out here that's saying that Devin Haney and George Kambosos potentially would be in a couple of months. I don't know how true it is, so I really can't speak on it with factual resources or site. You know what I'm saying? I just read it on Facebook. I'm trying to find it where I can actually, have some validation in talking about it. So, when you go to Boxing News 24, it's pretty much Eddie Hearn saying the same thing as always. He's been saying that forever. George Kambosos versus Devin Haney on June 4th proposed date. When I hear the word proposed, I pay very, very close attention to it because proposed to me isn't anything definitive. It's confirmed. It's permanent. I don't get that with the word propose. Propose leave me open a little bit to say, you know what, there's some doubt in there. We're not really close to a point where we're not at a point right now that we can say is absolutely going to happen. Proposal is just almost like that option. That's what we're thinking about. So June 4th, I don't know why they need that much time. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense to me why you would need that much time though. June 4th? That's mid-year. Like how many weeks do you need in training camp? Every time I look on, George is in training, Devin's training. You know what I'm saying? Like, why June 4th? You need enough time to make this fight pop. It's not gonna pop any more than it is. You put too much heat on it, that shit gonna get burnt. You know what I'm saying? We gotta just take it as it is. You know what I'm saying? Do a lukewarm, you know what I'm saying? Sear, and then take that shit out the pan. Because this is turned into a mockery at the end of the day, because George said he was gonna clear up any doubt. And ever since he had the belt, it just seemed like all he's given us is spoonful of doubt. He's just been spoon feeding us doubt. I told y'all he was being a clown right when he went and changed it on IG that he was undisputed, when he criticized T.O. for saying he was. And he went against the grain on everything. That just goes to show you how much of opportunist George Kambosos was. Mark Nash on deck, man. What's good with you? C. Wood, King Mitch on deck. COP on deck. What's going on with your peace, World Combat? Peace to you. What's good with you there, Mitch? So, we'll see how that plays out, because really, I just want to get some clarity to this so I can talk with it. I can speak on it with some authority, you know what I'm saying, on who, and what and how this fight's going to play out. All the damn life fantasy scenarios that I can come up with. If Devin Haney wins this, if Kambosos wins it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it would be very, very enlightening if boxing is able to get this fight this year. It'll do a lot for the lightweight division, for real, because it was buzzing so hard when T.O. beat Lomachenko, to the point when Triller just dropped the ball on it several times. Like, you remember when they start really crossing over in basketball and cats was flipping their hand over too much and pausing that hesitation, and they was calling carrying? Shit, that's what Triller did. It kept on committing a violation. You know what I'm saying? And turning it over. 3 times that shit done. So all the purse bid and everything else that went along with that hype for T.O., it went down the drain. Not only that, he had to step through the ropes and end up losing. So after Kambosos got the belt, he went on his press tour and everything else. And now we are where we at. He lied to us. He told us he was going to do this, and this, and we're still waiting on it. You know what I'm saying? I bet Kambosos up there, goddamn letting kangaroos kick his ass, in the head, because of Lomachenko being, in his home country. He running around there upset. But if Devin Haney gets the fight, I'm going to be happy, man. I'm going to say, yeah, we get to see a fight to put away all, any type of optimism that we say about Devin Haney, anything. He get to go in there and compete for all the belts. Let me talk about the movie, Batman 2022. All right. I went and checked that movie out, right? And through all the Batmans I've been raised off of, this happens to be the most deficient Batman movie I've ever seen, at the lowest tier. Like, I would have been better. Like, I went to a theater where they sell alcohol, right? I'm not a drinker like that. But at this moment, when I seen Batman, I never had the urge so much to go out there and goddamn overpay for some alcohol and goddamn drink until I can start it, getting excited about the drama that's about to occur. But if I would have did that, the movie would have took away my buzz, because I was pretty much predicting all the shit that was going to happen. Batman was going up against the Riddler. The weakest rivalry, the weakest clash I've seen in a Batman movie. You just had a dude up here putting question marks everywhere. I was like, oh my God, man. And then look, they involved the police department and somewhat the mob and shit like that. And then they was in these damn grimy ass dark places. Half of the movie is filmed with them, somebody holding water hoses and making it seem like it's raining. The entire movie, y'all. And over half of the movie, during the rain, they was riding motorcycles. Last time I checked, when you got a bike and it's raining now, you ain't taking that motherfucker out. But I guess this is a superhero movie where every time, majority of the first half of the movie, it was raining, and they're up there speeding through the streets on a motorcycle. Not only that, Batman is human. The equipment that he wears allows him to be above average when it comes to defending himself and to fight crime, right? He was getting his ass beat too much. And then Catwoman. Catwoman was far beneath Halle Berry, goddammit. Far, far away. Toto, where are you, Toto? This Catwoman right here was the one that when the house fell on the witch, they found out it was Catwoman. They revived her, nursed her back to health, and threw her on a goddamn cat outfit, a cat suit, and say, this is what you're going to do from now on. You know what I'm saying? Because you got your ass knocked out in the Wizard of Oz. We're going to put you in a superhero movie so you can goddamn recover. This female, when she initially put on the cat suit, she had a friend that was obviously on drugs and getting in trouble, dealing with some bad dudes or whatever. Pretty much, I'm assuming being a little prostitute here and there. But she put on the cat suit to go up here because she was kind of involved in that, same circle. But, she had pretty much a different mindset. She put on a cat suit, hopped out the window, and hopped down maybe a floor and a half like Catwoman. But that was about it. Like, besides that, you really saw her do nothing. She wasn't kicking ass. Like, she wasn't doing nothing. She let a man with a stick, like a broomstick, get on top of her and try to choke her out. And she didn't have enough strength or any type of ground skills, so to speak, to work off her back. Obviously, they didn't train grappling with her before they made the movie. And she's sitting there. I'm like, damn, you're not even a white belt. They just say, hey, we got auditions today at Target. They're just looking for Catwoman. You don't need no fighting skills. The movie's gonna be in the dark. This guy's choking her. And then she seems like she's moving around and she's able to get the stick away from her. And then he starts choking her with his bare hands. And she's up there. What happened to Cat? What the fuck was I watching, bro? Hello, man. I thought John Page was going to be on the show today. Hell no. I wouldn't put no year by his name, dog. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Rafael Dos Anjos and Renato Marciano for putting on a great fight at UFC. Yeah, Marciano, man, showed there's levels, man. I'm gonna get to that though. I'm gonna get to that COP for sure. I'm about to digress from the Batman movie. That Halle Berry Catwoman movie was straight ass though. I was specifically speaking about her playing Catwoman. The different characters. Obviously, it was a difference there, Mitch. It was a difference, bro. Because when I saw Halle Berry and Catwoman, the way she walked out there, she convinced me she was all about the business. She was on some other stuff, like she can handle herself. And being that Halle Berry has proven that in real life. She did Monster Ball with Billy Joe. She had to be crazy to do that shit. And then she had her men boxing each other and shit. She can get dirty. But anyway, I got to bring in the black actors. The main black actors was the same guy who played Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And now he's playing in Batman as like a lead detective who's very close to the character the whole movie. So he's supposed to be the good guy. So throughout the whole movie, I only seen one black guy, and that was him. When they brought in the next black actor or actress, she was a woman. She was the mayor electee, and they brought her out. Well, pretty much she was back there in the back, and something was about to go down, and she was being told not to go out there and speak on the podium. So she did anywhere, you know, strong black woman, right? Going out there to the mic and get shot with a high power rifle. Now, it was people that was there to commit a mass shooting, right? And they had all these rounds. These has to be 7-point, high power caliber rifles and rounds. She gets shot. Time she go up there and start talking. She falls down and she grabs her left side, and you think, damn, she just was shot with a high powered rifle. But I said, this is Batman. I haven't seen any hospitals. So the next time we see her, the Riddler has set off explosions all across the town to the point where water started to flood the city. You know what I'm saying? Something always been happening fucked up over there. So water started to come in. And the next time I see this sister, she's standing there with some other civilians in waist high water. And Batman come in there and does something. And he starts to basically rescue these people that's in this water, which is waist high. And she started walking unassisted. This is a woman who just was shot from a high powered weapon before Batman started beating them up. And she's walking through the flood unassisted with a damn bullet wound. And as big as those rounds was, from that distance and that rifle, it should have did some damage. Not to the point where she's up there walking around. And then as the movie go on, you have some people that get killed. The plot becomes very, very confusing about who's the this, that, and the other, who's killing who. You see this guy get beat up on top of a building, but yet just minutes later, you see him back like nothing ever happened in his own place where he works at his club, and he has no scratches on him. So I'm looking around the theater. I'm trying to find out if anybody else is drinking, because I'm sober. I wanted to find somebody that was a little bit intoxicated and ask him, hey, is it just me? Or did he just get his ass whooped on top of a building, but yet he's back like nothing ever happened, and he don't have no scars on his face or nothing? I need some of that cream, for real. I just couldn't get it. Like, these people getting their ass beat. They was getting shot and they were still coming back. And these wasn't the superheroes. These wasn't the main characters of the show. Through all of this, they finally put the Riddler in maximum security. And he's talking, just like they made the Riddler, look like a motherfucking Jeffrey Dahmer. You know what I'm saying? I gotta say Billy Gates. I gotta say it outside the term because I don't want to get shut down. He looked like Billy Gates, a Jeffrey Dahmer, putting all these riddles up there and still get locked up in maximum security once the movie is almost over. So of course he's talking, and then he hears this guy next door making this crazy sound, and lo and behold, to set up the sequel for the next one, it's the Joker. The Joker's sitting there nice in maximum security, and they put the Riddler right next to the Joker. Not in the same cell, side by side. Single layer or whatever, because I'm pretty sure that shit's going to be broken open. They're going to ask the guard something stupid. Is there any way you can give me some Mickey D's or something? Make sure the fries are fresh. You know what I'm saying? And a Fanta orange, please. And you come in for a second. I need for you to I need to ask you something, like, and you know they're gonna break out. I can see it. And then as the movie ends, Catwoman attempts to seduce Batman into coming with her, and then all of a sudden the bat signal come up. And she sees the bat signal. The bat signal doesn't make any noise. She just turned around and she sees it. She said, "Oh, I see you're taken." I'm like, how did she get that from a bat signal? Like, that wasn't a bat signal of his girl. That was just the bat signal we've been seeing all the time. So she said, okay, you know, she give her the part. They kiss, boom. They both jump on their motorcycle and they're riding through town once again. You know, one take the lead, the other take the lead, this, that, and the other. And then they get to a point where she goes left. I mean, she goes right, he goes left. And then he's looking through his rearview mirror and he sees her disappear, you know, once you get down the street. I mean, this was the weakest rivalry of all of them. It don't come close to Dark Knight. Batman seemed like such a wuss, man. I bullshit you a lot. I mean, I bullshit you not, man. But that's what that was my take on that. That shit was, look, if anyone is in this live chat is going to see Batman, right? If I can tell you, I'm not a smoker like that. Make sure you get some good strands, some good strands. I'm talking about the ayahuasca type strands, the motherfucking goddamn shit that has a psychedelics in it that have you think you floating when you walking in the theater. I want you to get some of that shit right there. Take that shit, hit it hard, because you're gonna need that when you walk in there and watch Batman to get excited. It doesn't get you, you know, to carry forward with the suspense of it. It don't grab you at all. You're just sitting there like, what? And then, you know, take your girl if you got it. You know, I wouldn't suggest you take your girl because y'all might break up. For real, she might sit up there and say, "What the fuck you bring me to this garbage ass trash movie for?" A matter of fact, where you get that drink from? Oh, they sell it out there. One for $15. All right, give me one then, because this shit is fucked up. It's trash. Hurry up, goddamn it. Go get me a drink. Anyway, man, let me get to the chat. That's all I got to say on that movie. Hard to top Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer, man, goddamn, Halle Berry, man, they was on point, bro. On point. COP Batman Dark Knight was the greatest Batman movie of all time and was a greater performance by Heath Ledger. Shout out to Heath Ledger, man. Shout out to Heath Ledger. He played the shit out of that motherfucker. And you know, it's just unfortunate that, you know, what happened to him, because you never know, you know, what he might have been feeling while he was making that movie. You know, you think somebody on the big screen and they still not healthy. You know what I'm saying? They still not healthy internally. Miss say Holly was solid as Catwoman too. The movie was just ass. Jim Carrey played a good Riddler. Extra zesty though, heavy and broken wrists. One thing about Jim Carrey, man, he has this, you know, personality about him. You know, Dumb and Dumber. I mean, he's just that dude. This Riddler, it was almost like he was Jim Carrey's step cousin, you know, something like that. However you want to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like the orphan that was in all these homes, and then he finally got in the home when he was 25, and they said, you know what, your ass too old, get the fuck out. I'm serious, bro. Like, goddamn, this Riddler was sorry. They had this motherfucker with a mask on the whole movie. It was just stupid. I know a few bitches are built like Danny DeVito when he played the Penguin, though. Look, even the Penguin wasn't even Danny DeVito. Like, the Penguin sucked too. He sucked, man. And I could have sworn the Penguin got shot. And he turned back around like his shit healed up in 3 hours and shit, man. Andrew Charles on deck, man. What's good? He said modern Jokers are cross-dressing Incels. Jack Nicholson Joker was an OG who shot Bruce Wayne, stole Batman's girl, and shot the bat plane out of the sky. You got some real OGs that played movies back then in Batman, for real. This right here didn't have no OGs in it. This look, when Batman didn't have on his uniform, he looked weak as shit, dog. He looked like the type of dude that you'll see walking around. I forgot that store name. Just out here walking around at the park with a damn plaid shirt on, with a Yorkie Terrier. Nothing aggressive. You know what I'm saying? Just a passive type dude. And then when he put on the outfit, it seemed the same damn way. It wasn't a changeover for me. I wanted to see the changeover from the quiet, carefree, goofy, passive type dude to goddamn an overt, aggressive, high energy. We didn't get that. No voice change. None of that shit, dog. It was weak. He didn't change his voice. It was weak. Jim Carrey played a few zesty characters. Masvidal is wash. J. Ocho on deck. What's good? Let me see. I want to see Batman in IMAX. What? Look. I know you rich guys out there talking about IMAX and all that. Well, you pay a little extra for the sound system. Listen to me. Sound system has nothing to do with this Batman 2022. You go pay IMAX, you're going to be upset. You know what I'm saying? You're going to go back to the counter and you're going to say, listen, I'm not here to cause any trouble, but what I just witnessed in there, I feel you stole from me. Because you said it was Batman 2022. I have high expectations for this movie. And I went in there and that shit with IMAX, it didn't do it for me. I could have stayed at home, watched Sesame Street, something. But it didn't do it for me. Can I at least get a partial refund? Sir, we can't do that. And then all hell break loose. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. Don't spend for no IMAX, bro. Don't do it. Bane cracked Batman back and threw him in jail. Yeah, man. Bane was a bad motherfucker, dog. That's who they should bring back. That dude right there. He had everything. The voice, the mask, all that shit, man. Just like the Dark Knight. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine me putting on a Batman outfit and still sounding the same way. I mean, come on, bro. They're going to say Batman ducking Errol Spence. Man, that Batman I watched, he is ducking Errol Spence. For real. He's on the Duck Masters Coalition, the first superhero on the Duck Masters Coalition. Absolutely he is. The Mask and Me, Myself, and Irene and Dumb and Dumber are my favorite Jim Carrey movies. J. Ocho, this new Batman ain't fucking with Spence. Nah, this new Batman for Spence couldn't even be in his corner or nothing. He would have to be more so as a guy they look for to go out and find restaurants after the fight. They say go out here and look around town and see what the best restaurants is. Kind of check out what specials they have, like some 2 for $20s they have on the menu or something like that. Okay, you handle that. Matter of fact, I want you to hand wash them 3 vehicles over there. Okay, I don't want to see a scratch on them. Can you handle that? All right, go do it. They're not gonna have him close to the ring. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have him involved with anything physical. Not even holding a spit bucket. Jack Nicholson Joker pulled out the longest revolver in history. Yo, man. I'm telling you, they had some OGs back there for sure. They had some real OGs back there. But this Batman right here, it's no need for me to say a thumb down. It's just I don't know what to tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? It gets a closed door. Hand over eye. You know what I'm saying? It gets the hand over eye, man. Don't look at it. It's bad. The only time you see a little bit of sun is when, of course, they're standing on top of a building and it's early in the morning. The sun's coming up. And that's very bleak, right? You really don't get that rising sun, that sunrise effect that you're supposed to. No. City's all fucking gloomy. Rain in the first half of the movie. I mean, it was never a day where you could say, damn, I just want to go walk down the street and get me something to eat. Where's the local bodega? You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the bodega. Y'all want a bodega? Damn. Should we catch an Uber? It's dark as fuck out there, man. It's been raining too. Now let's talk about the UFC, man. Like I said before, when I was asked about this fight between Kobe Covington and Jorge Masvidal, I said I was going for Jorge Masvidal, but Kobe Covington, in my opinion, had the all-around better skill set. The reason why I said that was, if you check out the performances that they both had with Kamaru Usman, both of them fought Kamaru Usman twice. All right. Jorge Masvidal was knocked out cold the second time in the rematch because he went to running his mouth in the first time around when Gilbert Burns caught COVID and they put in Jorge Masvidal. He had a fast weight cut. I knew he wasn't gonna win that fight, but he went in there and went the distance. I was like, wow, he went the distance. So he said, "Oh, imagine what I would do with a full fight cap." So I'm saying to myself, Kamaru Usman, he was being a nice guy. He didn't want to go in there and knock him out. So he waited till the rematch and went in there and he closed the door on Jorge Masvidal with one of the most beautiful straight right hands that you would ever see. Jorge was knocked out and slumped on Kamaru while he was still standing. And then Kamaru made it a point to go over there and punch Jorge Masvidal when he was knocked out. Why? Because in the back of his mind, he remembered what Masvidal did to Ben Askren when he knocked him out with a 5-second flying knee. And they asked him at the post-fight press conference, was it necessary for you to hit him while he was already knocked out? And Masvidal said, super necessary. So what you think Kamaru Usman said when they asked him post-fight? It was super necessary. So when Kobe got his rematch, he went the distance. He lost. You know what I'm saying? He lost. But it was kind of the same for both. Kobe was stopped in that first one, and then he did a little bit better in the second one. But with that experience, I think Kobe Covington, his hands, his boxing, along with his wrestling and his takedown defense, would be a problem for Jorge. I'm thinking the Street Jesus and Jorge Masvidal, a big part of me saying that he's not training the way he's supposed to. Like, I think he's Mr. Hollywood. I don't know, man. I'm just getting a different type of energy from Jorge. Like, he's not really, training the way he has to if he was hungry. You know what I'm saying? It just comes down to me, like, the UFC just said they signed him to a new contract. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is UFC. They love recycling their fighters. That's one thing they do. I don't know how much he's getting paid, but they love recycling their fighters. So he just signed a new contract before he stepped in there with Kobe Covington. Before. Now he takes another loss. And I believe at this point in time, I think Masvidal has 17 losses, I think, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? But in mixed martial arts, especially the UFC, that really doesn't matter. With the double-digit losses, that really doesn't matter. Because at least they give their fighters the opportunity to step back in the cage, make a paycheck, and continue to improve on the job. Not so much with boxing. Boxing, you lose bad, and you have to kind of search around. Like, it's boxers coming off the couch every day. They're coming off the couch every day. I don't know why it's hard for fighters just to find these top-tier fighters. They're everywhere. They're top-tier fighters out here that's looking to take it easy, you know what I'm saying, in their career. And there's fighters out here that's just looking to make a check. If you lose and you need some soft touches, It's plenty of soft touches out there at your access. That's all I'm saying. Jorge Masvidal record right now is 35-16. I think he had 15 losses heading into this fight. 35-16 right now. 12-9 in the UFC. I mean, not a lot of people can say that if that was boxing, you would be getting fights that's on the main event, that you're headlining a fight with that many losses. It all depends on who you are. But as bad as it looked for Jorge Masvidal, it's something unique about him, growing up in that Kimbo Slice street fighting era, being out here respected in the streets, come over to the UFC, come over to mixed martial arts in general, then make it to the UFC and be able to, have some losses, some wins, some losses, some wins, almost like the Diaz brothers. But people relate to Masvidal because he legitimately can fight before he came into MMA. He can legit fight. And he kept improving until he got his opportunity. You know what I'm saying? He ended up getting his opportunity against Ben Askren. And just out of a freak of opportunity, he was able to land the flying knee that he was practicing even before stepping in there with Ben. You know why? Because Ben Askren is a wrestler. So he knew if he gave him forward progress immediately, Ben was going to change levels. He's going to duck his head down, brace for the impact, attempt for the body lock, and try to take them down. And Jorge landed a beautiful flying knee. Oh my God, it was beautiful. And it knocked Ben Askren stiff. Like the way Ben Askren was knocked out is one of the most stiffest knockouts. I'll say top 5 knockouts I've seen in the UFC. And that catapulted him to another level. But him going in this against Colby Covington, man, I don't know if I want to see a rematch, bro. Because you had plenty of time in training camp. I just don't know, man. Like, they're going to give him somebody else. I just see him packing on losses like Johnny Walker. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Walker was this guy who had a lot of hype behind him. And Corey shut him down. You know what I'm saying? Knocked him out. And then Corey gets a step-up fight against Juan Blachowicz in the light heavyweight division. And he gets starched. And they drop him from the promotion. They release him, dog. And he goes over there and he's in a Bellator tournament. It's wild. Leon Edwards getting froze out. They want Masvidal to get a title shot every 3 months. I don't know what's going on with Leon Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Because that fight right now, after coming off the Colby Covington loss, that would be perfect. Being that they don't like each other, okay, I could say Colby Covington and Masvidal didn't like each other. Him and Kamaru Usman didn't like each other. So right now he 0-2 with guys he don't like stepping in the cage. So if you take that and you say, man, he pieced up Leon Edwards that time, that would be a good fight to make. But the only thing about it, Leon hasn't lost like Masvidal in his last couple of fights. He had a controversial decision against Saeed for an eye poke. You know, Leon poked the man and he was like, shit, man. Goddamn. But yeah, that's where we at with that. I knew Masvidal couldn't fuck with Kobe. King Mitch has no respect for the English etiquette. Coming here fired up. Hey, man, don't be taking out, you got to go to work on Monday. Man, don't be taking it out on the live chat, dog. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have to call HR and shit. Get you some sensitivity training and shit, man. It's too many. It's too many erratic dudes over here already. How much did they spend to make the new Batman movie? For me, to be honest with you, I think they spent around about $24.50. Because they found some dudes. I wouldn't say the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? I'm a spiff it up a little bit. They found some dude that was washing cars that knew how to operate water hoses. So they say, hey, we need you to come and hold these brand new water hoses to make it seem like it's raining. So y'all a couple old dudes anyway. So you know how you used to put your thumb over the hose? We're gonna turn the water on, put your thumb over there, just let it go up in there. So we're gonna turn the cameras on, make it seem like it's raining. All right, don't worry about where the water falling. Just hold the water hose up, okay? I don't need y'all to say a damn thing. Just stand there and hold that shit up, and we're gonna make it rain half of the fucking movie. All right, cool. That's how that $27, man. Fuck it. That's everything. Lighting, film crew. That was a low budget movie. Not enough according to Combat. Usman telling Covington, bitch ass, I broke your face. I broke your face. Was some hilarious shit though. He got the best. Hey, he got the best of Kobe Covington twice. So, Kobe can say, you know what? I want another title shot. But really, do we want a title shot right now with Kobe? Like, do we really want to see him step back in there, Kamaru Usman? Like, it's fine. We have to understand where we're going with this. It's fine to have a rivalry, but someone has to have some type of split down the middle, man. You have to dichotomize the win versus the win. You know what I'm saying? The win versus the losses, rather. It has to be a rubber match in there somewhere, like either a draw. Give us one draw, then give us a win, and then go to the trilogy. But when you're 0-2, you're going to absolutely feel like DC said when Joe Rogan put the mic in front of his face after he was still woozy. And DC start crying. And he was like, I guess it's not a rivalry if you lost 2 already. That was DC. Joe Rogan never should have interviewed DC when he was still hurt. But he lost 0-2 to John Jones. Kobe Covington is 0-2 to Kamaru Usman. Jorge Masvidal is 0-2 to Kamaru Usman. Right now, I can't even believe, I said this months ago, I couldn't even believe the amount of criticism I had from Kamaru Usman being one of the most boringest fighters in the UFC, not being a promotional talent, just always talking about he's performing at 30%, to the rise that he has right now. He's going to be considered one of the best welterweights. Just think about this. Nobody was really talking about Kamaru Usman when Tyron Woodley was reigning. Tyron Woodley fought for the title and beat Robbie Lawler first. Knocked him out, smashed him. And then they gave him Stephen Wonderboy Thompson twice. Twice, man. Damian Maia, BJJ world champion. That shit was boring. You know the whole deal. He defended like 23 takedown attempts. Then he went in there with Darren Till. Big ass Darren Till, man. And he subbed him out. Tyron Woodley was the dude. Until he ran in there with Kamaru Usman, man. And you got 2 wrestlers, and Kamaru Usman dominated him with wrestling. Kamaru Usman, the way he defeated Tyron Woodley wasn't even nowhere close to how he's dominating these guys right now. I don't really know if anybody can defeat Usman right now, 170. I don't know, man. And then the bad thing about it is he has the opportunity to further his career and basically add some more to his legacy by moving up to 185. But his countryman, Israel Adesanya, fights at 185 middleweight. So he's not going to do that. And he's definitely not going to move from 170 to 55. I mean, he's too big. He don't want to make that weight cut down to 155. So what is he to do? You know what I'm saying? Continue to build his legacy, run through the competition. I mean, who else is there at 170 to give him a run? Who else is there? Let's take a peek right quick of who's there at 170. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. I want to see. Okay, so, and you know, Kamaru Usman sits the top pound for pound. I haven't did my pound for pound live, which is probably coming up this week. But Kamaru Usman, right? He's defeated Kobe Covington, who sits at the number 1 rank. And then Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, it'd be the next to challenge him for a rematch. Yes, Gilbert Burns, who also is a BJJ world champion. He knocked him out. That used to be his stablemate, Gilbert Burns. You know what I'm saying? That used to be his stablemate, man. And it was real hard for them to step in the cage with each other, but business is business. Then you have Leon Edwards. Do I believe he can get it done? I'm not sure. And then for Sente Luque, I don't know, bro. Bilal Muhammad, I seriously don't know. Then there's Jorge Masvidal sitting at number 6. And then 7 is Stephen Thompson. Neil Magny, he ain't ready. Sean Brady. And then it just get dense from there. Michael Chiesa, he's tall, rangy, and all that. Nope. Now, the only dude that I see, not Santiago Ponzinibbio, not Li Jingliang, not Rag Hamav, but Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev is sitting at number 11 right now. He has to fight another name probably in the top 10 and dominate them like he did Li Jingliang. If he can fight somebody in the top 10 maybe once or twice, they're going to give him Kamaru Usman. Now, that is the hype right there. Khamzat Chimaev. He sits at number 11. That is the hype that they saying, oh, he should get a title shot. But it'd be crazy for Sean Shelby to say, yeah, let me get Khamzat, who's sitting at number 11, a title shot. Just because he's ran through Covington, Burns, you know what I'm saying, Masvidal. He still haven't fought Thompson. You know, still waiting on Edwards. Magny isn't ready. Brady isn't ready. Chiesa isn't ready. Geoff Neal isn't ready. Ponzinibbio, nope. So you got some good solid names in there as far as mixed martial artists, but the only one that sticks out to me is Khamzat. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, Khamzat Chimaev, man. Russia trying to lock Brittany Griner. Yeah, man. Shout out to Brittany Griner. I seen her when she was in high school, man. She confused the fuck out of me for real. Russia trying to lock up Brittany Griner tall ass for the few hash oil cartridges they found in her luggage. Say she facing 10 years. Listen, they think she facing 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck Brittany Griner was doing, trying to take that shit back with what's going on. Just young, dumb, and stupid type shit, bro. I don't know what she was thinking to try to fuck with those people over there. You don't try to bring some shit back over here when they already got stuff going on. So from what I'm hearing, they're gonna somehow try to use Brittany for some type of leverage or something. I mean, I doubt she'd get fucked up because she is a top name. She's a top athlete over here for real. That's Brittany Griner, man. If y'all didn't know her, she was in high school. I remember the first time seeing Brittany and she just confused the fuck out of me. Like I couldn't get past yeah, my name Brittany Griner. Yeah, 7'8". Like I couldn't get past how her voice was deeper than mine. I mean, she could bawl. I was like, what the fuck, dog? This is one of the times where I had to look up to the skies. I was like, Jesus, explain this to me. Just Just break it down just a little bit. I'm confused. How is her voice deeper than mine? You know what I'm saying? I can understand the height. I can understand the height. You know what I'm saying? But goddamn it, Brittany Griner, I mean, she can ball her ass off. Shout out to Brittany, man. I hope she make it back. They about to send Griner to Ukraine on some honey. I blew up the kids shit. Nah, they ain't gonna fuck with her, man. Believe me, they fuck with Brittany Griner, they gonna have some shit to deal with. They ain't gonna fuck with her. It don't matter if she was trying to bring some shit back. Man, she ain't. They ain't gonna do shit. Man, it's gonna be too many people over here, man. And also, man, shout out to Cain Velasquez, man. I really, reading up and talking to some people, it's really crazy that anybody would think he shouldn't have did otherwise. So, rich people, right? I'm not telling anybody how to raise their kids, right? I've been around for a minute, and I never trusted home daycares. Never. Ever. And there was times when I was a single parent, I was taking care of my kids, right? And I just pay the money for the daycare. I say, fuck it. They in front of the cameras. I don't like no motherfucking home daycare. The female's supposed to be taking care of the kid. And then I don't know what's up with the dude that's sitting there. I don't know if they have a healthy relationship. I don't know if he's a slime ball, none of that. So come to find out, Cain Velasquez, he found out the guy who had this big ass motherfucking house, obviously had money, and his house was a daycare with a playground outside and everything, molested his daughter over about 100 times, dog. He was convicted. This dude molested his daughter, dog. Damn. I just don't know what's going on in Cain's mind when he fired that shot, because he should have just been patient. For real, he should have just been patient. Don't do it mobile. You have to know what you're doing when you get mobile. You have to wait till he was on his feet. Not try to drive up and say, oh, let me shoot in the vehicle. No. Now that happens if you steal, but when you're moving, that's different. But this man molested his daughter, man, multiple times, dog, and was convicted, and Cain tried to kill him. Now, I can tell you right now, the court is going to show leniency on him, dog. He's going to do some time, if that. But this man molested his 4-year-old daughter multiple times, man. And you're trying to tell me you wouldn't have did the same? Man. I like the way Chocolatito fights, but someone is going to retire him soon. Matchmakers got to be careful. I don't want to see it happen to him. Hey, miss, check this out. I'm hearing people talking about Chocolatito, the pound for pound, blah, blah, blah. I say, man, I like how Chocolatito fight. He's a very smart fighter. You know what I'm saying? He's there to be hit, but the right person. But I always liked how back in the day, I'm telling you, I like how Chocolatito lay it down in the ring, man. Like he get the business. That dude he was fighting yesterday, Julio Cesar Martinez. How can he be pound for pound and Martinez would replace Juan Estrada? How can you say, oh, him going to a decision versus a guy like Martinez, he's a pound for pound fighter? I don't get that. That wasn't the champion. Like, come on, that wasn't the unified. What are we talking about, man? I like his performance. I like how he went out there and did what he had to do. But, man, come on now. I mean, dude is getting older, and he better watch out. He better, if he's going to be reckless like that. A part of me say he was reckless because of he felt that Martinez didn't have quite the experience for him to be very, very cautious. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought. But overall, the fight, man, I loved it. I loved the fight. I ain't gonna lie, I loved it, man. I loved where Martinez was standing there. He was landing his combination, but you could see him fatiguing a bit. And then he started to have his hands down, and the slingshot off the ropes and try to bring in Chocolatito and wave him in so he can count him with an uppercut or a hook. He was trying a little shit because he was tired. But his punches wasn't having no effect. They looked good, but they didn't do too much after they got past the mid rounds. They didn't do too much. I'm not here for Usman versus Burns rematch. I don't see it, man. Like, Gilbert Burns has such short arms. Shout out to the Burns brothers, though. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Burns brothers. But Gilbert, one thing he was able to do, he hurt Kamaru Usman in that fight. He did. And he's been working on his boxing. Shout out to Derek Santos. Derek Santos down there in Florida. He's been working on his boxing with a boxing coach down there. And Santos knows his shit. So he did look good in there for a minute until Usman knocked him out. So I'm pretty sure Burns has been in there working and working and working. You know what I'm saying? Following that loss. And he's going to come back. And to be honest, the good thing about Burns, he needs to be working on his boxing because he's a BJJ guy. So he's not too worried about the takedowns. But Kamaru Usman's on a whole nother level of wrestling, bro. Like, that dude looks strong. This dude has reached superstardom in the UFC. It's just amazing, man. It'll leave you dumbfounded. As how he's been able to rise to the top of the damn hierarchy right now in superstars in the UFC. If I wanted to look at Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, I would pick Kamaru Usman every day of the week before Israel Adesanya. I just feel like if he went up there and faced Adesanya, he could possibly knock him out. Because Adesanya's wrestling is not good as Kamaru Usman. And he'll find a way to get within them long arms of Israel Adesanya. That's just me, but they're countrymen. And they respect each other. You have three champions from Ghana. You have Francis Ngannou, right? And I know Israel Adesanya, he said a broken native. And he's been quite a few places. And then you have Kamaru Usman. But all of them, same. They support each other. It's crazy, huh? Because I just don't see that shit. I don't see that shit popping in boxing like that. Like, people supporting each other. You can't do that because there's too many belts, first of all. But the amount of black fighters is able to become champions, you can't really call racism over there. But when it comes to boxing, that's a whole nother motherfucking language, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Demetrius Johnson. How long he reigned at flyweight, 125 pounds. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, damn. Look at Rampage Jackson, how many shots he had. John Jones, how many shots he had. It's just crazy. Sad thing is, molesters will probably get out of jail first than Kane, even though dude multiple offender. Yeah, man, they couldn't understand why they gave that man bail, dog. You know what I'm saying? People are still at a point right now where they're confused as to why this dude. See, that's the one thing about this lifetime where we at right now. You see so much bullshit on TV with this, that, and the other, with the Rainbow Coalition. It comes down to when it comes to pedophilia, sometimes people, as much as they putting out on TV, people tend to dilute this shit as if it's a lower cause and effect. The shit ain't a lower cause and effect. You know what I'm saying? It's still as high alert as it possibly can be. It still needs immediate attention. But all this, but hearing these people talk on TV and then I remember this professor, he was talking about pedophilia and trying to treat it like it's a normality. It's a natural normality in humanistic behavior. I was like, these motherfuckers just lost their fucking mind, dog. But let me change the subject before I get my live shut down. Kane caught him molesting in traffic. What the fuck happened? Dude did the unthinkable. Kane should get a light probation. Sick fuck who violated his daughter should get the firing squad. I agree, man, but Kane shot the vehicle and ended up shooting his pops. Something like that. His stepdad, the dude's stepdad, is dude's dad. The bullet ended up hitting him. Now, just because he fired off a weapon, which he was licensed to carry, you know what I'm saying? He was licensed, that was a licensed weapon. Still, the actions which he took, they're gonna consider that criminal. You feel me? They're gonna consider that criminal. They don't care what you did in the UFC and all that. I hope he gets probation. If that dude wants any type of sympathy, his dad, I don't know if his dad pressed charges, his stepdad or whatever, but what his son did to Kane's daughter is irreconcilable for life. It's irreconcilable. You done messed up that 4-year-old's head for life, man. You messed her up for life. It ain't no changing. I wouldn't hesitate. Bro. Seriously, I wouldn't hesitate. No. Wouldn't hesitate, bro. I just don't know why he did it in the traffic. I don't know why he's following the man. I don't know. I can't think for Kane, man. That's his baby girl, bro. That's his baby girl. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad I never had any daughters, bro. Seriously. I'm glad I never had any daughters. I asked God for one son, and he gave me many. Low maintenance. That's it. Don't ask for money. I mean, I'm just saying, man. Like, I feel bad for him, dog. Rage overcomes consequences. Shout out to Logic on deck, man. Rage overcomes consequences. That said, what father doesn't do the same? Now, Kane has to live with the decision of hiring this dude. He does, bro. That is absolutely logical what you just said, bro. He has to live with it. And you know what? We don't know how much that guilt is a burden to him. We don't know how much his heart is burning. The guilt that man is going through with him, the mother, and the baby girl, because you had a grown ass man take advantage of your baby girl. And this is a fighter. He probably cried several nights already that he wasn't there to protect her. And then not only that, the kid came home back and forth, and he never even knew the shit was going on. Like, for a grown ass, dirty ass slime ball to take advantage of your daughter, and you're not even there to protect her, and you're a 2-time UFC heavyweight champion. Now that right there, oh man, that's heavy. That's heavy right there. That's an onus that you just don't want to deal with, bro. Man, you just don't want to deal with that. I don't give a fuck, like, I know Kane can handle himself in jail, but it's going to be more motherfuckers respecting him in that motherfucker than people that's coming against him. They trying to find out where the guy that he shot, where he at. Is he coming here? They trying to find out how they can get a hold of him. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of motherfuckers in jail that respect the fuck out of Kane for him being a good guy and being 2-time UFC heavyweight champion. What are your thoughts on Islam in the UFC? I have to say I favor him over Oliveira. Yeah, man, Islam's coming up. Just like Hamza Shemaev. These guys are coming up through the ranks, and you have to continue to feed them top names to see where they at. I know a lot of people, they're looking at these guys like this seemed to be a new wave that's going on. You know what I'm saying? And they have to keep that wave going because I don't see Khabib Nurmagomedov returning anytime soon, because he just started his own promotion, and Eagle FC, and he's gonna be tied up in that. I don't know when he's gonna make a guest appearance and come back for a shitload of money and for a 2-fight deal or something like that. I can't see it happening anytime soon. For real. I can't see it happening. So some of these guys that's in here that's training in the same camp, they're gonna have to keep the torch lit, dog. We have to see what Islam has moving forward. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna keep on feeding him and see what's up. Let me go back over here right quick. Good question. Let me check out my boy Islam, where they got him at. So I'm just curious of who they give him to next, because Dustin Poirier, I used to say Dustin is good enough to lose, and he is. He's good enough to be second. He is, bro. Because Justin Gaethje even went further distance than no he didn't. Let me back that shit up. Justin was subbed out in the second. Yeah. Justin was subbed out in the second. Right. Dustin was subbed out in the third round and Conor in the fourth. But anyway, what about Justin Gaethje? They have to feed him somebody like Justin Gaethje. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to, if they give him Dustin Poirier, it is what it is, man. But this dude loses the big fights. You know what I'm saying? He was talking shit about Michael Chandler getting a title shot. He gets the title shot finally, and he gets dusted again. It's just wild, bro. Like it's amazing that Dustin was able to defeat Conor McGregor twice. A guy who beat him in their first outing. A guy like Conor who rose to the top and became featherweight and lightweight world champion and went over there to boxing to make millions of dollars. Dustin Poirier gets him on the back end of all of that shit, dusted him off twice. And I'm looking like, no, this Dustin's ready. He's ready. And then Sean Shelby, the mastermind of the matchmaking, he went over here and said, you know what, we're going to get Charles Oliveira because he was on the winning streak, and we're going to put him in the Michael Chandler. The crazy part about Michael Chandler is that he had a fast track to the title. He knocked out Dan Hooker. And then they like, shit, the door's open. Well, the shit was humming and shit. You had motherfuckers playing the cello. You know what I'm saying? Violins and flutes. Welcome him to the gates, the championship gates. Lost. Dustin lost. People can't sleep on the logic. You can't sleep on Charles Oliveira, bro. You can't sleep on him, bro. For real. You can't sleep on Charles Oliveira. Dude, he's had his hiccups, but man, his BJJ game is it's icky, sticky. His BJJ game is wicked, and he got hands now. We're gonna have to see, man. We're gonna see how that works out. UFC values capitalism over racism. Boxing be on some bullshit. UFC, and not just UFC, Bellator too. Bellator black fighters get the shot. I can name you so many. Just look at Corey Anderson going over there from the UFC. He gets knocked out in the first round and go over there to Bellator and gets placed in a tournament, bro. It's not just the UFC. This is just mixed martial arts, period. It's a different system, dog. It's a different system, man. Real talk. Boxing has no president or chief, no head of the organization. Boxing isn't an organization. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is just a system where you have fighters compete in the system. You know what I'm saying? It's really no structure to boxing. Even the rules that you're supposed to abide by in boxing, it pretty much separates itself from region to region. You know what I'm saying? Vegas is different from Georgia, and then Florida's different from NYC. Why can't everybody have the same sheet of music when it comes to this, rules and regulations? That's the fucked up part about boxing, man. Everybody do their shit different. You got promoters that do their shit the way they want. You know what I'm saying? You got sanctioning bodies that want to, do what the fuck they want, implement all these belts. So that's why I say boxing is not an organization, bro. It's just a system for which it allows an individual to compete in the sport and get paid to compete in the sport. And you can make a lucrative amount of money in the sport, but it is a punishing sport to the fact that it disallows these fighters to come up with a union to receive benefits post career. So all you're doing is just basically signing up to go in there, take the punishment, get paid, and leave. You know what I'm saying? Whatever injuries that happen to you in the ring, they get somebody to stitch you up. You know what I'm saying? They get, if you break your hand in the fight, you can get some treatment to get your hand fixed and all that shit. But as far as those post fight benefits that you're looking for, nothing. As far as a union, nothing. It's been, I know it's people talking about trying to unionize and shit like that, but bro, fighters have to donate to be in a union. And then it has to have some type of leadway that people will take it serious. And boxing as a system cannot take a union serious because there's no one to report to. There's no one to report to in boxing, bro. Who are you going to voice your complaints to? The promoter? Good luck with that. Like, who are you gonna sit up here and submit your grievances to? Another example in Oliveira taking his losses early and grinding back to the top, not held back from record, but he climbed back. Yeah, man, he had those hiccups. He lost this and that. He was kind of trying to get his shit together, and then he started coming along, man. Like I was shocked that he did what he did to my boy Kevin Lee. Shit, that loss. Kevin Lee went into freaking seclusion. You know what I'm saying? He had to take some time away from the sport with that shit. But what did he think was going to happen when you continue to go in for a takedown and leave your neck out there exposed to a guy, a high level BJJ guy like Oliveira? What were you thinking, Lee? Come on, bro. I heard Triple G was 7-1 favorite over Murata in Japan. I want to bet against him, but it damn sure seems like the fix is in. Man, you ain't never lied on that, bro. Man, you ain't never lied on that. I'm gonna tell you like this. If it was ever a fight, like my tolerance has changed for stuff like this. Like I know people are gonna converse about it over and over again about who they want to see Canelo Alvarez fight. I myself, I will talk that talk too. So him choosing to face Triple G in a rematch, and people trying to make it seem like the entire reality of him being drawn in for Triple G is him talking shit. Wow. So correct me if I'm wrong. Benavidez has been talking shit for a while. Why isn't he getting a shot? Charlo, I can't say Charlo was talking to Canelo. Charlo was just like, please, Cinnamon, please. I didn't hear Charlo goddamn up there talking that shit. But Triple G, you're trying to tell me that you want us to tune in for this fight and buy this fight if it happens because Triple G was talking shit. It's bull, man. For real, it's bull. You know what I'm saying? And you know what, Mitch? If you want to bet on that, I don't know, man. Look, I can't totally exclude you out the bet though, because Triple G, he hasn't been looking, fantastical. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been looking that way. He hasn't. But goddamn it, Murata, when the last time he fought? 1970? Dude been out sitting chilling. He probably got arthritis by now. Like, this motherfucker's just been sitting out there, and they haven't even thought about stripping him of the title, dog. He's been out there, going up to the tea shop. Ohio gozaimasu. Hi, hi. Don't let me start to talk Japanese, get my Japanese out. Shit. What are your thoughts on Jake Paul's suggestion in having more judges judging the fight? Jake Paul can suggest more judges. It's not really the amount of judges that's over there in mixed martial arts. Is how thoroughly educated are they to grade something that they're watching. In order for me to know what I'm watching and speak on that shit, I have to go to these gyms and look at these guys. I remember when I was start going up in these mixed martial arts gyms, right? I remember, I'm not gonna mention any names. These guys who fight on TV, dog. One guy was an asshole, man. I'm up there looking, I have my camera and shit. He said, "What's up?" I was like, I'm cool, man. I knew who he was and everything. He said, "You talked to?" I said, "Yes." I was a bit frustrated. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit frustrated because I had already made the arrangements, and I was already in there. I was like deep in there, and I'm taking pictures and shit. This dude come over there. "Oh, you talked?" So yes, I did. I said, "I'm gonna be, doing this, taking pictures. Just don't get in my way." All right, cool. You know what I'm saying? Who are you with anyway? Independent media, WCS. I cover boxing, MMA, BJJ, and all that. "Oh, you know about this?" I said, "That's why I'm here, man. I wanted to say, if you start fucking talking to me, cool. I can get some shit done. But I have to go to these schools and look and learn what I'm watching. If they're gonna get more judges, where are you gonna get them from? You can't bring boxing judges over to mixed martial arts and expect them to grade the same way as they do when they're sitting ringside at boxing, bro. They don't know what the fuck they're looking at. Like, how do you grade someone up against the cage, landing inside, outside knees to the thigh? How do you grade fighters who's dirty boxing on the inside? How do you grade a fighter, both fighters, if both of them are in the clinch and they're landing little small strikes here and there? What happens if a fighter takes another fighter down from off the cage in the clinch, but he does no work? Is that judge educated enough to say, well, they didn't do anything, I shouldn't really give him credit for the takedown, he didn't do anything? Or let's just say the fighter's taken down, he's on bottom position, but he's landing some crazy elbows from the bottom. He lands some crazy elbows from the bottom. He's punching from the bottom, but yet he's not allowing his opponent that's in top position to land any downward strikes. Who do you credit for the takedown? Me, you credit the fighter that's on bottom because he was still able to inflict damage on the fighter in the top position. So if Jake Paul want to come over here and say, well, let me send some judges over here, what criteria that's going to go off of? Where are you grabbing these judges from? Are these judges previous fighters? Or are they just boxing judges? Are they wrestling judges? Where are you grabbing? Because you can't bring wrestling judges in there. You have to bring judges in there that went to some type of schooling, that understand what they're looking at. And then you have to be very, very careful about these judges not being in the regional backyard of some of these fighters that's fighting so they can show favoritism. Like, you got to really pay attention if they're not training at some of the schools of the fighters on the card. If they are, you got to be very careful not to place them in that fight, to judge that fight, because they could be extremely biased. You really have to know what you're looking at, man, getting all these judges. So how many judges did Jake Paul say? How many judges he want? Their logic. How many judges did he say he want? I'm just curious. He said if Charlo were to face and beat Triple G to unify, would he get credit for beating Triple G? Will it be Charlo's biggest win on his resume? It absolutely be Charlo's biggest win. Because he fought Derenchenko, right? Derenchenko lost to Triple G, right? So if he goes up there and beat Triple G, then what? It's going to be the biggest win on his resume. But Triple G is not going to fight no Charlo. I mean, that's already been placed out there, man. It didn't go down. So he's definitely not facing no Charlo. World Commerce, did you see Neiman Gracie lose to Storley at Bellator 274? He is nowhere near Horace Renzo or Rick Hickson, Gracie's skill level as far as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Hickson, Henzo, okay. Let's not really bring Horse into the equation, because Horse was in a format for which the Gracies planned that shit for him to pretty much wear that gi when nobody actually was educated enough and trained on how to use the gi or defend against it. You know what I'm saying? Because Horse could use his gi to choke out his opposition. You know what I'm saying? And people wasn't schooled enough and trained in how to defend that BJJ back then. The Gracies set that up early on in UFC 1. But when you talk about Hickson and Henzo, different though. Now, Neiman might have been, his DNA strand might have had him eating filet mignon too many times when he's supposed to be at the gym. You know what I'm saying? His pillows might have been extra, a little fluffy. And them silk pajamas he was wearing, might be a little different. I don't know. But listen, just because you're a Gracie doesn't mean everyone's BJJ is going to be high level. Initially, when they brought and presented this to mixed martial arts and just to the BJJ scene, people don't know deep enough. They don't know how to go deep enough to know what was actually going on with BJJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a difference between competing, being a Gracie and competing, against other schools and competing in BJJ tournaments, and then being a Gracie and training in the school. Not every Gracie competed. So, with the DNA the way it is, you're not going to have every one of them that's going to be this killer grappler. You have to look at it. It's grappling at the end of the day. The Gracie name comes off grappling, all right? Only a few of them have been able to change it up and combine their grappling to mixed martial arts and be successful at it. That's real talk. I don't think Horace Gracie was this phenomenal fighter. I just think at the time, the skill set of the fighters of his opposition, rather, back then, when they was integrating this with no gloves and pretty much limited rule set, their fighting skills, though they was highly skilled in their art, when it came down to the BJJ assignment, handling somebody like Horace Gracie, they was pretty much embryonic. It was an embryonic state when it came to them going up against somebody like Horace, because all he did was he did the front side thigh kick just to get you to, like, okay, I don't like that. That doesn't feel good. And then before you know it, he goes in for the takedown, man. And from there, he goes to work. I don't care how big the fighter was, how strong. The whole process of the Gracies was to get in close, lock you in, and the saying goes for BJJ: position before submission. Position before submission. Some boxing judges been around a while, but still get crazy outcomes. Okay, that's a good point you made. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine the boxing judges having crazy outcomes, but then you want to transfer them to cross thread their judging skill set from boxing to MMA. MMA gives you a whole different genre of striking discipline. A whole different genre. You got to grade kicks. You got to grade punches, but not just the punches like the hooks, the crosses, the uppercuts. You're talking about you can punch your opponent in the thigh. You can punch your opponent below the belt line. You can't do that in boxing. You can kick your opponent from their ankles all the way up to their head. You know what I'm saying? So once again, you come over here and you're new to this, and a fighter get kicked up top, but his opponent has a high guard. You got the earmuffs on. He's able to block that high kick. Is that if that judge cage side looking at that strike and say, "Oh man, that was a hard kick"? A person like Essen Barbosa does a spinning heel kick, and the guy blocks it, but it still lands. Is he gonna give him credit for that? You know what I'm saying? They have to look at the defensive nature of it as well as the offense. Some of these judges are so amazed just to be in the company of it, they might just look strictly at the offense, and they neglect to see what the opponent is defending because they busy amazed that, God damn, wow, whoa, much different than boxing, buddy. Why is he stumping the foot? Hey. Why is he stumping his foot? Is that legal? Oh, it is? Oh, okay, my fault. Thanks, Joe. No, don't tell nobody either. Okay. Seriously, they don't know. Is judging in the UFC having a max 5 rounds make it harder for controversial judging since rounds are fresh in people's mind? I think people are not really understanding why it's 5 rounds. Because you're looking at the amount of minutes of rounds too. Not just the amount of rounds, but the minutes that you have to contend. 5 minutes per round now. 5 minutes in a cage that big, you have to contend. It shouldn't go any higher than that. It shouldn't be any higher than that. That is perfect. 3 rounds, non-championship, whatever. Co-main event, whatever. But when it comes to the sometimes the championships in the co-main event, championships in the main event, they do 5 rounds max. And that's for the male and the female. So I don't think they should extend the rounds. I definitely don't think they should extend or reduce the 5 minutes per round, because it give a fighter time to, if they come out slow, they getting beat up, it give them time to recover and possibly change the round, take the momentum back. I believe 6.2 per scorecard. I believe 2 per scorecard have to agree on the round. There'll be problems, but there's a step in trying to fix the scoring. The biggest problem on scoring logic is going to be the person that's scoring the fight. You can't force an individual by putting them side by side and think they're going to influence somebody else. A judge is going to score what a judge is. What if the judge sitting there, both of them know each other and they pretty much dare to cater to the promotion and the fighters that's on the A side and the B side, somewhat like that. I know that MMA doesn't believe too much on the A side, B side, but I'm just saying it is. It's always there. In some cases, it's transparent, but they always have some type of A side, B side. You always have some type of bias from the judge. UFC has evolved around Gracie's BJJ, has evolved when they was prisoners, pioneers of BJJ and MMA. UFC evolved. Okay, I agree with that. UFC have evolved beyond the Gracies, absolutely. Not just the UFC. Combat, period, has evolved way past the Gracies because their primary discipline was grappling. Because the Gracies didn't introduce striking, so to speak, to the masses. They introduced you to BJJ, and they was able to do certain things once they got you in a certain position on the ground, position before submission. When it came down to fighters understanding how to defend that shit, chemo, you know what I'm saying, shamrock a little bit, then they started having problems. They started taking a little bit more damage. And then the sport continued to evolve. Hey, look at it this way. You remember when they used to get a takedown and the fighters that was on the bottom position, they always used to go to close guard. But now the system has changed from the time that you're framed in front of your opponent to the actual level change. And then the position of the legs. A lot of times fighters doesn't even go to the closed guard automatically. They work for a butterfly right off the rip. They work for a sweep with a single butterfly. There's a whole lot of shit that's going on with the arms and legs at the same time. Back then, they used to just go to closed guard. I used to hear Joe Rogan, closed guard. That is called a closed guard, y'all. Now they barely even use the shit, dog. They barely even use the closed guard, man. You do that shit now, they look like, who is his trainer? Why is he in a closed guard right now? I mean, they put the body triangle on you. I mean, it's just so many ways you can work from the top and bottom positions. Crazy. UFC early days had no weight limit and was tournament style, 3 fights in a night. Yeah, 3 fights in a night if your body held up, though. You know what I'm saying? If your body held up, yeah. But those fights was crazy. I still remember, some of them fighters putting on good fights, but yet they couldn't even continue because they was banged up. That's why the Gracies, their mindset was little damage as possible, get in, take them down, and try to submit them. And they were the only fighters that was wearing the gi. You know what I'm saying? Look, Gary Goodrich came in there with a gi on. He didn't know anything about BJJ. He know a little bit, but he didn't know shit. And then look what happened when he ran into chemo. That was a tough fight for Horse. That was a tough ass fight, dog. They should allow that shit in bare knuckle clinch, thigh punches. If you can turn your opponent around, dig to the lower back. They got to expand on just throwing hands. They have expand, man. Like, look at what they're doing. They give you, this is bare knuckles. This is no protective covering over your knuckles, right? You're able to clasp it, a clinch behind the neck and punch your opponent with your bare knuckle, with your bare hand, just like a street fight. Not only that, in boxing, both fighters start off in their corners. That's how the fighters started, off in their corners. In bare knuckle, they told this square that's in the center of the circle, and it's about what, half a foot in width, and both fighters have to put their foot on the line, toe the line, and the referee gives you the command to fight. He say knuckle up. When he say knuckle up, it's on. So I think that's where they needs to be. You know what I'm saying? As far as them punching, they still gotta punch, from the belt line up. You're able to clinch and punch at the same time, which is detrimental. I mean, that is serious, bro. Someone's clinching you and punching you at the same time. That's crazy. Bare knuckle? Nah, man, I think they have enough rules, dog. If you get them, look, and not to mention, it's 2 minutes per round for a reason. This ain't the 2 minutes for the female boxing. This is 2 minutes so you won't see a motherfucking any more of a cemetery than you get already. That shit look like Red Crosses on deck. For real. Red Cross be up there scooping up blood samples, DNA. Okay. They be up there catching blood splatter all night. All right, we got enough right now. I don't know what we looking at, but we got enough blood. It might be contaminated, but goddamn it, we good. Just throwing hands is more traditional boxing way. I mean, that will make it more interesting to me. I know we're not talking about bare knuckle, but can you wrist lock somebody in bare knuckle? They got to allow some more advanced striking. In my opinion, that will attract more competitors. They're attracting competitors right now from MMA to boxing, man. Andrew, for real, they're attracting a lot of fighters. And wrist locking, you can do wrist control all day long. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can control somebody's wrist with one hand and punch with the other. You can clinch behind the head and punch with the free hand. I mean, what other rules are they? The only other rules that you can implement in bare knuckle is elbows. Then if you implement elbows, it takes away from bare knuckles, right? It kind of goes back to like the barbaric side of things when, they didn't have no rules and cats was headbutting and eye gouging, groin strikes. You know what I'm saying? If you the only other technique that will bring bare knuckle to a whole nother level, then you got to talk about attrition too of these fighters. If you want to include another striking discipline, you have to understand this is going to cut fighters open because, for one, they don't have gloves. So everything is bone on bone contact, bro. Everything is bone on bone contact. How long do you think it's going to take for these fighters to heal after going in there getting sliced up like that? Andrew is trying to commit genocide up in this motherfucker, dog. I need to see more. Off with the head. Off with his head. What's going on with Andrew tonight, dog? What the hell? You didn't get your testimony this morning? God damn. I need to see more. I'm not impressed. I mean, just because you got a trickle of blood in you, one of your eyes hanging out, God gave you two for a reason. Don't come up here and complain. You chose to be here. UFC put in a lot of rules to phase the Gracies out of the UFC. I don't think so, bro. I don't agree with your COP for real, because they didn't have to do much to phase the Gracies out. See, back then it wasn't a lot of Gracies. You know, you take Hickson, and Horst didn't stay in there that long. Horst didn't stay in there that long. You know, and no, they didn't try to phase him out. They didn't have to, because once again, the Gracies sustainment was not so much striking. Like that front kick to the thigh, man, that was just to get in close. That was just to distract you. You know how they say you put your lead hand up there in front of the face and then you try to crack them with the two? It was just a distraction to get you to think about them kicking, and then they kick, boom, automatically shoot. The one thing about the Gracies, they wasn't worried about how big you were, because they can sub you out from top and bottom position. They wasn't really worried about anything else. They'll pull you towards them, and then before you know it, they have wrapped their gear around you from the bottom. They work for a sweep, or they work for a triangle, arm bar, whatever they could work from the bottom position. That's what they do. They didn't really care about the muscle and all that shit. The Gracie and Bruce Lee were innovators. I haven't watched a lot of bare knuckle past Paulie's fight. Oh my God. You need to watch more, dog. Bare knuckle has changed since the Paulie fight too. And it's still a new back then. Bare knuckles has changed since the Paulie fight. And people think Paulie a punk. Man, I saw that fight, man. I got to give it up for Paulie hurting his hand early and still fighting. I got to give it up to him, man. I know Mitch gonna sell here. El Paulie. Are gigs not allowed in the UFC? Are gis not allowed in the UFC no more? It's not allowed. It's not allowed. This is not gi no gi competition anymore. This is mixed martial arts. This is absolutely a sponsored fight gear company now. They've cleaned that shit up from Reebok. Reebok was the first. That's when all the other collective sponsors wasn't allowed for the fighters. That's why you don't see them throw the banners over the top of the cage like Bellator. You can't do that no more. So Reebok, they went through their entire contract, and then they went to Venom. Now they have Venom fight gear. Gis are no longer allowed in UFC or Bellator for that case. I think allowing a wide variety of techniques will actually reduce the gore in bare knuckles. What? What other technique you talking about? Spinning punches with bare hands? It's still gonna fuck them up, man. Like these guys are not, fighters that's coming out the laboratory, bro. These are average people. Let's just say you want to include elbows, which we talking about Muay Thai, right? Muay Thai is where you can use punches and kicks, and in some cases you elbow. But they have different rules. Not all Muay Thai you can use elbows. Not all Muay Thai you can sweep your opponent and toss him. So they have different rules. But let's just say bare knuckle included elbows, and you can do spinning technique, which are still punches. That might liven it up a little bit if you can do spinning technique. Spinning punches. Fun in the early mid years of the UFC, fans will boo when going to the ground. That said, you would think bare knuckle would have taken off since it's straight up fighting. Yep, things has changed, man. You know what I'm saying? Things has changed. But hey, people, I'm on here longer than I'm supposed to be on here. I appreciate people. I appreciate y'all for pulling up my people for real. Hey, man, if y'all haven't followed me on IG, man, I finally dumped a little bit of my hard drives out there of my work. So go to follow me on IG. I'm gonna start just posting straight up my work, and I'm done with just posting results of news content and shit like that. I'm just gonna post my shit out there. You know what I'm saying? So check out YouTube, of course, and check out the IG. Follow me on there, and of course, hit the bell icon and everything. Subscribe to the channel so you can get the notifications, people. I really wish I can go. I know when Logic on deck, he gonna talk that shit. Appreciate you all the time for your dang UFC knowledge, man. I definitely would have liked for this to have been during the daytime, because that was some good ass questions. You know what I'm saying? I can talk all day about combat sports in general, but having somebody in the chat to talk about the inception of the UFC, certain individuals who's the pioneers of mixed martial arts to a point, and all the other shit. That's some damn good topics. But yeah, man, y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports.